Hey everybody, this is Joe. Thank you for watching my Giga Texas construction update video.
Hey everybody, it's Joe. I'm back out at Giga Texas on this Monday, the 11th of November. It is Veterans Day. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you to all of the men and women that serve and have served in the armed forces, not only here for the United States, but also throughout the world. It's an important mission that we all have done, and it's just a great moment to take an opportunity to say thank you for your service, and also in my particular case, thank you very much for your camaraderie and for serving with me all over the world. So happy Veterans Day. Now you also notice behind me I brought my new Model 3. This is its very first trip anywhere, and I decided to bring it up here to Giga Texas to kind of do its shakedown cruise. Now it's been extremely nice so far. It is a little different than my previous Model 3, definitely quieter, and has a lot different features. And there's also some things that I liked about my old Model 3 versus this one, and I'll cover that in another video. But overall, this has been an outstanding vehicle so far, and I'm up to about 250 miles, so not a lot yet, but I'm looking forward to a lot more coming up. Now, a couple of things else I want to talk about before we get into the video today. And by the way, the video is going to be a grand tour of Giga Texas. I'll take you to sites that we don't normally see, and I've also got a lot of new information that we'll be talking about in the video and looking for in 2025. But one of the cool things that we just had happen here at Giga Texas over the weekend was this short video clip, and it was taken by Adan. He's a friend of mine. He also posted on X, and you can see the Cybercab driving around the streets of Giga Texas, going down Robotic Avenue, going through one of the security gates near the multi-level parking garage and continuing on. So it's pretty neat to see that the Cybercab is out and about here at Giga Texas as we start getting ready for 2025, where we're going to start seeing new vehicles, new models, and the production of that Cybercab here. So really neat, and I'm glad that you were able to see this video. Thanks again to Adan for his capturing of this video here at Giga Texas. Now, the last thing that I do want to leave you with before we get into the video is I'm wearing my Chopsticks shirt. This is for the catch of the Starship Super Heavy booster, and believe it or not, the 6th flight and the 2nd catch attempt is coming up here on the 18th of November, so very soon. So I'm going to be going down there and covering that event. I will be live streaming with Ellie in space again, and hopefully we're going to get a lot of great views and see what's going on with the Starship. So my schedule here at Giga Texas will be disrupted starting next week to some degree, and I'll keep you informed of how that is going. But really looking forward to Starship's flight number 6 coming up here in just a week. So without further ado, let's get in the drone. Let's do a grand tour around the site and talk about some new things that I've recently learned that's going to be important going into 2025. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
If you would like to support my efforts, please consider using these links, which will be in the video description. If you are interested in Tesla products, you can help yourself and support me by using my referral code. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons on my YouTube video, as this helps as well. Thank you. My drones are ready and raring to go. Let's go flying over Giga Texas. Well, good morning and happy Veterans Day on a beautiful day to fly here at Giga Texas. And because of the holiday, I'm going to do a grand tour around the site. And right now we're flying along Tesla Road, the newly paved and lined section here, coming up to the intersection with Farm to Market 973 on the far west side of Giga Texas's property. Now you can tell that Farm to Market 973 is in the process of being widened. In addition to that, on the right-hand side of the screen, this kind of hill and valley section is part of Giga Texas, and they've been using a lot of this dirt to fill in the site on the eastern part from where we are located, and that's been used in various different locations. You can tell some of the earthwork, but the widening of 973 is very important because it is kind of a bottleneck here, and has been a lot of high traffic and high accident rates in this location because of the narrow roads. As you can tell, they are well on their way to widening this significantly, and also putting in a median. So hopefully that will help with traffic flow to and from Giga Texas, but also for all of the people that live in this neighborhood and the businesses that are around this location. Now, it's been a while since I've been on this side of the site, so I thought I would come over and quickly take a look at the progress of this road widening. And I'd say it's probably a few more months until this is all completed, but once it is, this will be a definite thing that's going to be helping this whole area. And I know that some of the people working at Giga Texas are very excited about having this completed very soon. So I'm going to cross back over across the highway and this housing community and come back over to the southwest corner of Giga Texas, where we see that large parking lot for the contractors, and of course this yard, or this section where all of the dirt has been kind of excavated, some of the ponds removed, the hills removed. We see a big depression on the right, more dirt being brought in. Some of the dirt has been brought out to help level the grade in several areas around the site, and this pond is still remaining. And I still don't know what this entire section is going to be, but it is something I will continue to monitor. Now, as I turn the drone around, you'll see that triangular section, which is that staging yard with a lot of those transformers, also Giga Texas in the background, the West Warehouse on the wheels with all of those trailers, another large material staging yard in the upper left, and of course the end-of-line facility and the outbound lot. But I'm going to continue to fly back to the southwest to the very far corner of the site and give you an overall perspective of what this looks like from here all the way back up to Giga Texas. Now, some of the things that I'm going to do during this video is I will kind of stop the video with a still, and I'll give you some diagrams of what is going on in these areas. And the first one's coming up here with this section of the trees and the little pond and the berm. You can see River Road. Now, this is going to eventually be opened up to the public, and it's going to go all the way around under the South Bridge along the Colorado River up to Tesla Road's extension. This yellow ecological uplift area will be open to the public sometime in 2025 or 26, and that will include access by Tesla Road. This was detailed in the Giga Texas Travis County Commissioner's Court update on October 3rd, 2023. This is sort of a diagram from that report about the 120-acre Giga Texas Ecological Uplift pilot project and some of the details in the upper right. And that follows along this entire section just south of the River Road along the Colorado River, which you can see in the right-hand side of the screen, and it wraps around the east side of Giga Texas. And of course, you can see there's a boat in the river. This is going to also be open to the public. And once all of this is completed, it's going to not only give the public a nice area to come out and hike and just enjoy nature and the Colorado River, probably do some boating, but also it will help open up Giga Texas and Tesla more to the public, which I think is something that everybody around this area really would like. Now, as we approach the South Bridge, there's another development that I would like to go over, and this actually builds on some discussion that I had several years ago when Giga Texas first started construction. And that has to do with increasing more of the access and the off-ramps from the highway onto Giga Texas. Now, I will stop the video here shortly and I'll give you a few diagrams. You can tell that there's some areas on the bridge that's ready for expansion. And from what I understand, they're going to be adding those south ramps in this area, possibly another ramp on the other side of the highway heading to the south, going under the road. This will help with access. The existing boring tunnel is shown here, and I'm understanding that a future boring tunnel somewhere in this general area, as indicated, will be added. And this is what this overall section looks like, and some of the things that we will be looking forward to in the coming year. All right, I'll stop the video here and give some additional updates on the south end of the factory. Now, the red area is River Road, and also around that fork statue, this will be open up eventually to the public. In addition to that, this yellow area is that extension of that ecological uplift, and of course, all of this will be eventually open to the public as well. Now, if I zoom in around that fork, this gives you an idea of what the public access areas will most likely be like, and you'll be able to come in and take a look at that fork. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So as we continue to fly to the east along the Colorado River, this is a kind of a good south to north view of what the factory area looks like here. I would like to draw your attention to that intersection of the Cyber Circle Road going north to south and River Road going east to west. We'll see that it continues past the lined pond up by the glass company warehouses or workshops and just south of the parking garage. And this River Road extension is going to continue through the tree line on the right all the way to the east and then follow Colorado River all the way up to Tesla Road. Of course, this yellow area will continue to be open to the public, so you'll have access with that River Road extension and these open areas. And as I continue to fly further to the east, this will give you kind of an idea of what parts of the site you'll be able to, just as general public, come in and access and be able to see. Again, this is going to be pretty neat that Tesla's going to open up all of this land for the public at some point in the next year or two. As I move farther to the east, I'll stop here and show you some additional details. Now you can see River Road's extension already starting to form through the trees, and with this red highlighted area, this gives you a great idea of what that will look like, and of course the yellow area and how it extends all the way back to that south bridge and along this entire part of the site. And I think this is going to be really nice once this is all completed over the next couple of years. Now, as I continue to pull away, there's some other things I want to be able to show you, particularly here on the far east side with all of these workshops that you can see on the right-hand side of the screen. This is a good view of where River Road will come through, and also the open to the public section. But what I really want to show you as we continue the video is this entire east side. Now, most of the materials, the workshops, the equipment, the vehicles, all of this is temporary. It is not part of any of the permanent structures for Giga Texas. Now, this is a extremely large section of land, and it is slated for future development. So let's take a look at what that might look like with this still. Now, this entire yellow area will be cleared out of those trailers, materials, equipment, and this will be reconfigured and most likely have a new permanent warehouse on wheels yard, recycling center, offices, and more sometime in the 2025 to 26 time frame. You can see how Tesla Road in the upper right-hand side of the screen extends all the way along this side. And what is going to be really cool is that a permanent Tesla Welcome Center and Event Center will be constructed in approximately this green highlighted area. So with Tesla Road being open and having public access, this area being reconfigured, and the Welcome Center, this is going to tie in nicely with all of the open to the public sections along the Colorado River. I think that's going to really transform Giga Texas and kind of move some of the events away from just being done in the factory over to a more permanent and dedicated facility right in this general area. So that'll be something that we'll be looking for in 2025 as we look to see if they start clearing this section out and preparing for some more of that construction. So all of this section that you see in the middle of the screen is definitely going to be changing in the near future. Now, stopping once again, I just wanted to show you where Tesla Road will come through. And this red highlighted area gives you a good visual. Comes for that north bridge along next to the die shop and cathode building to this location. And then it will tie into the River Road extension, which will proceed all the way to the south along the south end of the building and then across underneath the highway all the way to Farm to Market 973. So this is going to definitely be a much different view and access for the public when all of this is completed. Now I'm going to continue to fly along the Colorado River, face towards the north, and I want to show you some additional changes that will be coming up here in the near future. Now you see those two large fields. When I stop the video here, I'm going to throw on a red line, and this is where the new Harold Green Road is planned, and it will be open to the public. I've given a lot of details and the permits for this in previous videos, but generally this is where this is going to go through. It'll connect to the State Highway 130 on the left, where you see all those cars driving, and the Austin Colony housing section to the right, just off the screen. Now, as we continue to fly up to the north, this is that rental equipment and maintenance lot, also where some of the concrete is being stored that was broken up from the south end of the building before the extension construction began. As I pull away here next to Lone Tree Field, I'm going to stop the video one more time. I'm going to show you what, generally speaking, the extension here or the rebuilding of Harold Green Road will look like. And here's this red outlined section. If you recall, Harold Green Road is where Tesla Road is now, and that road predated Giga Texas by a few decades. And that is going to be reestablished through this area near where that lone tree is. Of course, all of this land is Giga Texas's or Tesla's property, everything that we can see so far throughout the frame of the drone. And having that public access through this location is going to be kind of nice too. It'll allow us to come on to part of the site and see Giga Texas from a vantage point that is just not available at this time frame. As I continue to fly to the north, looking back to the southwest towards Giga Texas, this gives you a great perspective on this entire area. Now, this is Daly Middle School and their sports stadium, and this is off of Giga Texas's property. But Gilbert Road, which is the road where you see the vehicles driving right now, is kind of in the middle and part of Giga Texas's property. So we're getting close to the very northern boundaries of what Tesla purchased. Now, as we continue to fly to the north and west, much of the land that you see here around Gilbert Road and to the south is part of Giga Texas. And, one of the interesting things here as I get ready to stop the video momentarily is this large field with the trees that you see in the middle of the screen. Now, the original farmhouse that was the owners of this land was located in this area. I wanted to show you where Harold Green Road will connect through, but going back to the farmhouse, I'll throw up this diagram. This is where it used to be. About last year or so, we saw it being dismantled and completely erased, and it is no longer here. Now, part of what Giga Texas will eventually do is expand all the way up through this entire section. And there is definitely more than enough land on this part of the site to accommodate a completely duplicated Giga Texas factory, there's that much land. And of course, you can see State Highway 130 and downtown Austin, the upper right. On the other side of that highway is more of Tesla's property. Now, I do want to come back into this large rectangular section. This has been kind of an interesting area to keep track of. Not only do we see a lot of the materials that are being stored here, everything from pipe segments to some equipment, also rack mounts for castings, concrete segments, building materials, and also production equipment. And this is also where Harold Green Road will go through, through the middle part of this section. But what's also interesting is that over the last couple of years, I've seen soil test rigs out here doing soil samples, and that's basically used to test the strength of this area. Now, a couple of years ago, there was a permit that was filed to put in a North Logistics lot in this particular area. That permit was eventually expired and has not been, at least to my knowledge, to now re-accomplished. So there may be a big change of what Tesla intended to do in this location, and that'll be something I continue to monitor. But a lot of the red and white items that you see at the bottom of the screen there are production-related equipment, and that'll eventually find its way into the factory and support additional production and capabilities here at Giga Texas. Now I'm going to fly along sort of this middle section towards the west of Giga Texas. As I slightly turn back to the south, you can get a good reference of where the factory is located, that multi-level parking garage, the east parking. And from this perspective, looking south to the electrical switchyard, we also see coming into the middle of the screen two sections of the site that we don't normally see, one of which is an area that is set aside for a lot of the landscaping materials and also landscaping plants that are used and installed or planted all throughout the site. And this is a good close-in view of what this area looks like right now. And we do see some trailers. They have some permanent-looking plants or trees that have been installed. We see materials off to the left and off to the right. In the right middle of the screen is that Martin Marietta mobile batch plant. Again, that is what was responsible for the majority of the concrete that has been used for constructing Giga Texas. As we continue to fly to the south, the electrical switchyard is obviously shown here in the center of the screen with a lot of the upgrades that are going on to prepare for that third transformer. We also see that V-type circuit breaker and the footings for more of the steel items. But what I wanted to do is get a quick update on this clearing that is being done just to the south of the switchyard. They continue to bring in more dirt, and it looks like they are raising the grade here. And I'm not sure what this is exactly for, but I believe it will be related to many of the transformers that we see on the far west side being stored. It could also be another megapack site. I think that all of this is related to the Cortex supercomputer cluster on the south end of the building, as this will help add more electrical capability and also kind of help condition the electricity so that we don't get these really quick high-frequency spikes that they were talking about with the Colossus supercomputer cluster that XAI is installing, and that is going to be something that's necessary to ensure that the Cortex supercomputer cluster here works correctly. Now, I've come across the highway looking to the north. I'll pan the drone around. What I'm trying to show you is more of Giga Texas's property. You see those north to south linear hills and ponds. That is the remaining portions of the sand and gravel mining that used to be done in this section. This green field is not part of Giga Texas, neither is the Lone Star Asphalt and Concrete Company, but on the left-hand side of the screen is part of Giga Texas between this tree line and the state highway. As we continue to fly further to the south, this large clearing where we see pipes and manifolds being installed is not part of Giga Texas. This is part of the lateral extension for the Sandhill Energy Plant, and this is adding a natural gas pipeline and a terminal in this section. And the clearing that you see on the right goes all the way down to the Colorado River and to that energy plant. So that ends up the main tour. And while I was here, I thought I would go ahead and do a 360-degree tour around the factory and give you a nice view from a higher altitude of what it looks like at present. You can see the work on the roof. A lot of people keep asking, when will all the solar panels be added? That's part of phase 2 of the solar panel project, but it's on hold because they've been doing so much rework of the roof, adding more capabilities, putting in that conduit and the cabling for the electrical system on the south. Of course, the extension that is very visible here, and other changes to the roof structure. So until all of that is done, they putting the additional solar panel on hold. Eventually, there will be over 70,000 solar panels on the roof. Right now, there's just over 30,000 in the middle part, which spells out Tesla. I've also been told that there is some plan to put on either more solar panels or some sort of art on this south extension. And what that is exactly, I do not know. But rest assured, that's not something that Tesla has forgotten. And for a lot of people that have asked, are they going to move the solar panels to center them on the new lengthened building? The answer is no. Some people ask also, are the solar panels being used for the Megapack site? And the answer is no. The solar panels are being used basically to reduce the energy needs while the sun is shining. But the Megapack is connected directly to the grid. And of course, the Megapack serves two functions. One is to provide backup power for Giga Texas, and the other, which is very important, is to help stabilize the electrical grid in the Austin area. But this is a nice, quick 360-degree view of the factory from a higher altitude than I normally show you, and I hope that you enjoyed being able to see all of these views and the factory from a different perspective. Now I'm going to bring the drone up to a higher altitude, and I'm going to proceed back over to the east, farther away from the factory, and we'll continue to fly along, take a look across the main factory to that west support facility, which includes the outbound lot, the end of line, the warehouse on wheels, the boring tunnel, and that large field that we talked about earlier. So that'll bring to an end this grand tour and kind of an update of Giga Texas for today on this Veterans Day. And I hope that you enjoyed the information I was able to provide, plus the illustrations and of course the views of Giga Texas in a way that I don't normally get a chance to show you. As always, thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate your support. Have a great week. Take care.